Hi everyone. So it's my birthday, and as I was approaching this birthday, I realized no way I can do my usual thing of holding court at a bar with a group of friends. Um, but I wanted to connect with my good friends and loved ones that I haven't seen in a while. Um, and I didn't know how to do that. And at the same time, this is a very different birthday as well because my mother, Mickey Coburn, moved here 5 weeks ago from Massachusetts to come and live with me, and that's a whole new thing for us to become accustomed to and to work our way through. And I knew that she and I would be celebrating together physically, and I thought, well, I had this weird notion uh, to include her and celebrate her being here and to celebrate my birthday. I got this notion of gathering together a group of her poems and reaching out to a group of my beloved friends and family and seeing if anybody would care to read or perform or interpret a poem on video for me as a birthday gift. And 9 of my friends and family did that brilliantly and uniquely and individually. Uh, my mom has been writing poetry since 1960. Her poems are very personal, they're autobiographical, they're names of people and places that she's loved in her life. But nevertheless, good writing is universal through the specific. And I think you'll find that each one of these brilliant, wonderful, lovely people has made the words their own. And I'm so grateful to you guys for doing this for me and with me. And so, yay, happy birthday, me. I hope you enjoy the wonderful talent and love and words of my mom, Mickey Coburn. All right, yay, happy birthday.
Autumn was a sudden thing, an instant happening, a set change executed during the blackout of one short night. And there it was in early morning, damp and golden and dense with yesterdays. Autumns of stickball games and horse chestnuts exploding in leaf fires, old clothes stuffed into scarecrows. The autumns of kids slamming home and apple picking and baking pies. The jumping into crumbling piles, games of tag, and calling home to supper. Trite and trenchant and Currier and Ives. I inhaled it slowly, driving past the common to the sea, and understood where I had been as suddenly as the season. All those other autumns set emotion rising in my throat, the overwhelming ache of truth to later know. The loss to come, now wafted on sea air to sting my eyes from searching inward, where leaves on leaves of years record dead seasons. At last, a real autumn. As before, but with that lack so long ago predicted. The voices, vapors, waves of rustling umber tide. The loneliest of seasons. Indeed. It is the fall.
There's this squirrel living in the trunk of the ancient pear tree. He was evicted from the elm 2 years back when we felled it posthumously. Now he flings half-eaten, half-green pears around the garden, spitefully risking the green sickness in his wearing attempt to be noticed. I call him Itty Bitty, after a city squirrel that I once knew. And I take a maudlin pleasure in his tantrums.
I hate moving.
I'm less patient with my own children. may, before September, vomit up his game, and I will find him buried in the cores. If not, his pastime will have been my own, and I'll put up peaches for the winter.
Forgive me, it's an autumn thing to do. The trees are dripping with a pregnant fruit, and I am wondering how I ever grew so trivial from out a profound root. Forgive me, the leaves that join the wind, those trees forgive and bid come home again. So sweetly green as though they had not sinned. They come, oh yes, but I was greener when I let my thoughtless springtime cause you pain. And now that autumn has me in its stride, I will not try to rub away the stain, but bring forth fruit to place me in your pride. Yes, bring forth fruit of which we both may eat, a tree of love, an autumn thing to share, and I will sit contented at your feet, for you will smile to watch me brush my hair.
Today I saw a redbird. I haven't seen one in so long. Don't you remember the cardinal who came daily to our windowsill that first winter? We had no money, or chairs, or much to eat. I carried our first son full front like a ship's bow, and made cranberry chains for our first tree that you got for free if you could catch it. And the redbird came each day to share my lunch, which was an apple, and he had over morning coffee. He passed on the coffee. That was, 37 years ago? My God. The cardinal came and tapped the glass. I'd lifted pain, but he never entered. Just nibbled his piece of my apple and kept me company, then flew away. The free one. Today I hung a bird feeder on the porch. For the redbird. That first winter, the cardinal came to our windowsill. Do you remember?
If I could give my friend a gift, it would be a small boy stopped in his assault upon a play yard to bid him come. If I could, I'd give the clumsy imprint of ill-fitting boots embossing the new snow of a city night. A sour cream glass filled with coffee, sonnets, and Miller's Woods burning in the haze of a diffident sunset. Or perhaps an embarrassed hug, that charming thing. A plush blue bear hastily tucked away. The quilt of Coney Island shore. Warm cola, sandy plums. The girlish laughter of two old girls well-wined at brunch, racing through a racing street in search of unserved courses. Or package the wonder lit by footlights, hastily secured, consumed by a phoenix over black beans and rice. Or revisit our morning rites at Long Sands Beach, renewing our souls on Harriet's bench along Marginal Way. If I could give my dear one yesterday poorly chosen out of all the rest, it would be the one least remembered. And then, oh, remember.
I would have lived for you. I've life enough for both of us. And you might wander through drifts of Shakespeare, your reality. You were mine and are. That cannot change.
I could have lived with you. I do not fear the overpouring shores of life, the heights, the depths, and pain in every fingertip, passion on the rims of coffee cups. I live because of you. My chalice held within my eyes, the chalice of my soul, the knowledge of you, breath of you, proudly wearing love in place of pride as pride. The substance of my life has been your countenance. I love and lost still, stronger still, my sustenance.
Retreating sea and one-eyed seagulls. Old piano men, crude jazz, warm Liefraumilch. The wind playing the waves against the rocks on Granite Pier. Sinking underneath your mouth and rising underneath your loins. Play back and wait. And wait. Your weakness sucking up my strength like bread and gravy. All those filter tips preserved in rock on Wingerscheek, along with apple cores and Heineken. Valium cushioned plane rides and Wörterbuche. Play back and wait. And wait. Proust did not corner the memory market. Phantom movies reel against my windshield. The wipers won't erase them. Drive faster. Can't escape them. Headlights blur my vision, but not my visions. Tunneling home, my mind pierces the night erotically, climbing without arriving. Suddenly we are racing in the sand, and once again you beat me. You laugh. Lächerlich. Translate, accelerate and sense around. Read the exit signs. Ausgang, einer, einzig, eins. The driveway crashes underneath my brakes. Pieces tear. Upstairs, my children sleep. I turn the motor off. And wait.
Sometimes, well, lots of times, I leave for work with wet hair. It curls up, you see, the look au naturel. It calms the predictable morning headache, cools against the summer sun, and challenges death by pneumonia during the interminable New England winter. People look at me a lot when I'm out there with wet hair. The women, of course, find me peculiar, but the men find it sexy, even at my age. Isn't that remarkable? It must be a vulnerable look, a kind of nudity, exposed. Or else it stirs a mental movie of emerging from the shower or bath or pool. They attach to the wet hair stimulus some real or fantasized body that gets their juices flowing. It's an amazing phenomenon. For me, it is not an attempt to attract, but merely a rebellion against blow dryers and getting up an hour early. Wet hair was only wonderful when someone else dried it for you, rubbing your head in a big scruffy towel. Grandma, smelling of cinnamon and a scent called shocking, and I feigned agony. Dennis blowing it straight as sticks so I could whip it around and give myself whiplash. Gerd tousling it in his big, gentle hands, laughing warmly in a German accent, tightening it in his fingers and pulling me to him in a sudden, fervid change of mood. I leave for work with wet hair, foregoing chic, ignoring style. Untouched by someone else, it is when I arrive, all dried up.
I fell asleep on the subway. Again, racing through the aching cold into the too warm cabin. Oh. All travelers fall asleep. Well, most. Some. Tucked in with my bundles, my bag of stuff to do, my purse and hat, and the plush Snoopy for Isabel's second birthday. Oh, the end of the day confusion retreats from this cocoon. My head searches back for the low leather cushion, dropping away, rocked unlovingly by the rattling post. I dream I'm on the caterpillar ride in Playland, and I am 12. Oh, lack of motion stuns me awake to the embarrassment of mouth-opened obscenity. The sleeper's vulnerable face. Oh, the man near the window smiles up from his crossword. Some don't sleep. I readjust my bundle and share the sunset beyond the railroad bridge. Our eyes conjugate a parting verb as I gather all myself to walk the freshening street. Oh, so brief an intimacy, so utter an intimacy. I take it with me when I go juggling for my parcels across the bands of ice, wondering if he knows that 21 across is divertisement.
Laundry. Folding sheets is a two-person job. Two women speaking in the mama lotion, whatever, mother tongue laps around a kitchen pungent with bread rising under a white linen towel, a blue stripe at its hem. Brown hands, white hands, tan hands out in the garden, singing a parachute upward, rocking against the clothesline, singing in the mama lotion their mama's songs, under fluttering sheets that smell of summer.
Folding sheets is a two-person job. A boy and a girl in a laundromat, laughing a canopy upward to arch above them and catch their dreams. Naming their unborn son under the striped percale in which he was conceived, the boy will take custody of the sheets in a really good Chinese laundry. The girl will learn to miss an extra pair of hands.
Two people folding sheets is a lost art. The ritual folding, stretching the goods wide and studying each other across its field. The folding in half and pulling tight. The walking toward each other to match the hems. The automatic choosing of who takes the cloth from the other, who lifts the bottom and steps back again to repeat the dance. A pas de deux, a minuet, an improvised Hasidic waltz.
The oldest sheets are the softest. Worn thin and smooth and cool, they accept the body with sweet perfection of a kind I remember only on my grandma's breast. Folded again and again, They never wrinkle, surviving the clumsy manipulation of one pair of hands. Cotton eyelet lace, once crisp, now fine and thin, gathered in an awkward bouquet. Lingering at the dryer to feel the warm, soundless folding, an unconscious chore.
What made me think of it so truly out of season? Why would I, after all this time? A 4-minute music video from 20 years ago. People strolling through the room as though it were a garden, walking on the little stage with apprehension and delight. The dimmers low to spark the mood, and candles here and there to fire the senses. The holly and the wispy trees sachet the air, and someone, who was it, playing the piano? Sweets passed on silver trays and sherry sipped from crystal flutes. The piano man began to play that melancholy carol, the "Have Yourself a Merry Little One." And this young boy began to sing in his sweet voice, simplicity of prayer. This young boy, dressed as Pierrot, moved among the guests, touching a hand, a shoulder, a sentiment, a recollection. This young boy directing everybody's thoughts, provoking tears and incredulity in the chapel of our small theater. Pierrot in candlelight. Tulle collar, white face and jade green eyes. Graceful and guileless, stirring our affections with the innocence of art. I wonder if he thinks of this, remembering perfection. After all this time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jamie B. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Mickey Coburn, for these beautiful poetry words. They were so fun to speak out loud. Thank you, Mickey Coburn. Happy birthday, Jamie B. Happy birthday, Jamie B. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jamie B. Wider than my arms can stretch is my love for you. Celebrate with wild abandon, but don't break a muscle in the meantime. Love you.